Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. First and foremost, you can send a text message. Rose is waiting to read your text messages. 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. And that is our news tip line also. That's on 24/7. Also, you can email us any thoughts you have concerning our stories at chief@fetchyournews.com. You can follow us on Twitter at FetchYourNews and at FYNTV. We're also back live broadcasting on YouTube, and our YouTube channel is FYNTV Fetch Your News. Like we tell you, if you'll go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, you will get a notification every time we're live. All right, now Blue Ridge is going through an election cycle here, and there's some developing things going on. Let's start here. Now, I spent a good part of this weekend, probably no exaggeration, about 10 hours yesterday, listening to Blue Ridge City Council video, picking out spots that I want to highlight in the coming weeks. And my focus this morning is the Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge, the group that was organized called Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. And I want to go through this methodically and try to stay focused on what I'm doing, so when the report is done, that somebody may be able to start looking into it in a deeper way, okay? Meaning, an actual agency, one of our government agencies, law enforcement or ethics or something of some nature, start looking into this in a deeper way than I have. But you'll be interested to know, for you citizens out there, that are interested in the parking issue or problems or concerns, I found video from 2014 discussing the parking issues and lack of and needing to solve in 2014, a video. I was just amazed, and I keep telling you, they have had these issues. And when I say this, before I get into this one right here, I want you to stay focused on something with me, please. They have had 3 votes. When I say that, the city council has had 3 votes for 3 years, okay? They have been, Angie Arp, you can watch the videos. Don't take my word. Councilwoman Angie Arp appears to be in charge. Appears to be. And she makes most of the motions that go on when it comes to these things, and she has 2 votes. Councilman Rodney Kendall and Councilman Bruce Pack. They have had 3 votes. So if you're concerned about flooding, they've had 3 votes. If you're concerned about the sewer, the water, the infrastructure in any way whatsoever, they have had 3 votes. If you're concerned about the waste of money, no matter what it may be, they have had 3 votes. They have been running the direction of the city since they were sworn into office. So let's start here for a reason. There's a reason we want to start here, okay? Legal expenses. I have said publicly on this show many times, and I'll say it again, David Siphon, the city attorney, needs to be replaced, period. The council needs to find new representation, legal representation. So Sam, put up the Blue Ridge legal photo, because I want to go through this. This is where we want to start. I pulled this last week, and this is something you could, and this is by Alicia Stewart, the financial director. Okay, and you may not be able to see it very thoroughly on the screen. I'm going to read to you what this is, but you could actually get a copy of this. And I pulled this. I wanted to see from 2008 to 2017. Now, 2017 is not completed, so I do have the invoices. But I wanted to see the progression of legal fees, where it really hit home, what years did legal services in Blue Ridge go through the roof. So I pulled this, and again, this is by Alicia Stewart, the financial director of Blue Ridge. This is not my document. It is the city's. Actually, it's your document, citizens. So the basis of what was sent to David Siphon, city attorney's office, okay, in 2008 was $72,396 and change. 2009, $73,335. 2010, $71,486. 2011, apologize for that, let me make sure I have that off. 2011, $55,546 was sent to David Siphon. Now listen to this, follow that. Now in 2012, $60,126. Now, in 2013, all right, $107,767, all right? This is 2013. Now, there are different things listed in 2013. There is the lawsuit for the lost, the lawsuit for the lost, the local option sales tax, which the council voted to go to court over. That was a council vote. We can go over that later. There's $22,000 on that. And there's a reason we're going here on this. There's $22,000 on the local option sales tax that the council voted together. The council voted together to go to court on this. And there was a couple other things that cost that to go up to 107. Now, let's go to 2014. Okay? 2014. 81,000. Now, see, they ran an average because you got several things in 2013 that brought it up to 107. So they're running an average 72, 73, 71, then it dropped down to 55. In 2014, $81,766. 2015, $134,000. Okay? $134,673. $134,000. In 2016, $135,000. So in 2 years alone, almost $270,000 went to David Siphon in 2 years alone. Now, let's keep in mind, all right, this did not include almost $40,000 in an investigation. That's not in this number, folks. That's not in here. All right? In 2013, $20,750 was sent to Doss and Doss. Okay? Doss and Doss. That's a 2013. Poll workers, $9,844. Why was it so much for poll workers in 2013 to run a little election and Doss and Doss involved for $20,750? Why? Because at the beginning of the election we had a challenge because we had several people that voted twice. So we had to bring the county in to run the election. Now, getting all that done, that's fine. So you see where we're going here. All right. Now, I have, let me get my videos up. Now, this is This is in, I want you to listen, because they just had the election. They're finished, okay? They're finished. And there's a group, and they're going to Plan B. They have challenged the domicile of the mayor, Mayor Donna Whitener. Where do you live? You cannot be mayor, okay? So they've challenged voters. They challenged her vote, okay? They went through thousands of dollars to challenge this election. They did not prevail. So they go to Plan B. Who are they? We're going to get to they. Who are they? So this is the beginning, and the reason this is important, in October in 2015, you got to understand, the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge do not come into existence for a year afterwards. Okay? So there's a group that's trying to figure out, how do we remove this mayor? And this is October 2015. This is premeditated. This is a premeditated. Sam, I want you to pull up the video that says Blue Ridge City Hall meeting October 14th. All right? And tell me when you have that ready. Blue Ridge City Hall meeting October 14th. All right, now, you got to understand, the October 14th, this is the premeditated, and this was posted on October 16th, 2014, and it is on Fetcher News. This is 3 minutes and 50 seconds long, because we're going to go through the premeditation of this all the way through. So this is 3 minutes and 50 seconds long. I don't know where we will end it, but pay attention to these very first words of Councilwoman Arp as we play this. Sam, let's go to this video.
Even skirting around the law, it's black and white. You've got all your I's and cross all your T's, and that's what I intend to do. And it is this council's responsibility to remove anyone, mayor or council member, if they fail to do that. Now, so you can say what you want to about it, but I as far as going backwards and forth with the attorney, I'm going to make sure that what I'm saying and what I'm doing is right, and according to law and the charter. You don't have to, and you can try to skirt around it, but I'm not going to do that. So, and I've got this right here concerning what you're talking about. It says very clearly, and I think it should be settled. And all you had done is read the charter. That's all you have to do. So, no, I'm not through. So, whatever anyone thinks, I'm going to do what's best for the city. I have as much or more invested in the city than probably anybody in this room. No, it doesn't give you no authority, but that just is common sense. Why would I not want to do what's best for this city? So you know what? And I am here for all of Blue Ridge, the citizens, the downtown, the merchants, everybody, not just a select group. So I'm not going to make decisions just for a select group of people. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like me. It doesn't matter. You can make your decision, or you can, when 4 years comes or 3 years comes, you don't have to vote for me. So it doesn't matter. But right now I'm elected, and I have the discretion to make decisions that I think is best for the city. Not what you think, but what I think. This whole entire administration, it's what they think is best for the city. If you want to make that decision, you can run for council or mayor and make those decisions. Now, we are going to take your voice in consideration, but ultimately it's up to us. So, I really don't appreciate you making like that I'm not interested in Blue Ridge because I don't agree with you or maybe someone else. But that's up to you. But I just want everyone to know that I am going to make decisions that's best for this city, for the entire city. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry. I would love for us all to get along and all be in agreement. But, I'm not going to take, persecution or a group trying to, pressure me or I'm just not going to. I'm going to do what I feel compelled to do, and that's the right thing according to state law and the charter of this land. And the charter does need to be revised. It's sorry that y'all feel like this is a vendetta thing. It's not. Not with me. And I've done nothing to show anything otherwise. Maybe the parking, but you know what? You speak out of both sides of your mouth, in my opinion. You want to provide parking for visitors and tourists, and oh, what it brings, but yeah, you're taking up a parking space. You don't care about that. You know, I'm sorry, but you know what? We don't even need to go there. But bottom line is, I'm going to make the decisions that I think's right, not what you think's right. That's all I have to say.
Okay, now that's important. That's important for a reason, because this is October 2014, and she's not going to skirt around the law. She's going to follow the charter, even if that means to remove the mayor. Okay. Now, if you go through that video and you'll listen closely, you'll see that the anger of what happened in the election and that the mayor was elected is there, and there is a plan being put in place. That's my takeaway, that I'll even work to remove the mayor. Now, they come up a year later with a group called Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. So let me say this. I'm going to put this together before I put the names. Okay, so you look at the charter of the city of Blue Ridge, not to bore you or get too far in the weeds, and there are different reasons that you can remove a council member or the mayor, and you have to have violations, and a group, citizens can come to the podium, a group of citizens can come and ask that an investigation be done internally to remove the mayor, or done to take the mayor out of office. So there's a group that says, we think we can find somebody. So when you find somebody, and I want to be nice about this, this is a good guy, Patrick Crane. Patrick's a good guy. But they say, who can we find as a front? Who can we find to shield us? This is what I have interviewed Patrick Crane for 2 hours. He has gone to the DA and he's done an interview with the DA's office. Yes, he has. So you know, it's all on record. I've done a 2-hour interview. The mayor, he has spoke to the mayor. He has spoke to Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas, and I got their permission to say that he did disclose all of this with them also. So there's myself, a 2-hour interview with Patrick Crane. There's Mayor Donna Whitener. There's Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas and the district attorney's office, where they have the notes of what he said to them concerning the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. So you have to find somebody to shield certain people. You know what I mean? To say, I have no idea what you're talking about. So let's go down this road right now. Pull up Concerned Citizens of BR. That's a picture. Concerned Citizens of BR. Okay. Now, this right here, you may not be able to see it very well on your screen, but this is from the Secretary of State, and it's the Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. It is a nonprofit corporation. It is located at 60 Summit Lane, Blue Ridge, Georgia. Let's see, the registered agent information. Registered agent information. Now, let me just say here on the registered agent, don't take this wrong, but for the most part, your attorney is always your registered agent. Really, for the most part, most corporations and 501c will list their attorney as a registered agent. And why would that be? So if there's any legal documents, your attorney gets a copy first. And that way you know, maybe you're getting sued, maybe your corporation's being sued, maybe there's something going on legally that you need to be aware of. And that way you make sure your attorney gets the service for it and they know what's going on. So it's very common that the person that put your corporation together, that the registered agent could be your attorney. All right, but this is not the end of the world at Patrick Crane. But the registered agent, because you're going to see my opinion, and I'll put it like that, is totally they made this guy the fall guy for everything. Every single thing. Used, a pawn, moved him around, okay? Then discarded him. So he is the registered agent here, Patrick Crane, and it was on 9/9/2015 is when it actually was done with the state. Okay, 9/9/2015. So this is all created, set up, concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. All right. So let's go to, let me have this one here. Sam, I'll tell you what other photo I want. Let's go to Articles of Incorporation. All right. The Articles of Incorporations of the Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge, Inc. Article 1, the name of the corporation Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge, Inc., and the principal office of the corporation shall be at 60 Summit Lane. This is their fall guy. Blue Ridge, Georgia. The mailing address, 60 Summit Way. It is a nonprofit corporate code. This corporation is formed pursuant to the Georgia Nonprofit Corporation Code and shall have perpetual duration, whatever. The corporation shall have no members, okay? It's a nonprofit corporation, concerned citizen. Now, let me tell you what one of the things is. It's a 501c. It's a nonprofit corporation, all right? So, that being said, the documents are public. Absolutely. You do, when you don't pay tax, because you're a nonprofit 501c and you're not taxable, you are then open to public review. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You can look at this document. Now, let's go to a couple more, because we're going to go through a couple more before we... Now, who put this together for this man? Okay? Let's go to Lynn Wagner. Tell me when you have that picture up. I can't see it across the room. All right? The name and address of the incorporation is Patrick Crane. All right? This is from the articles. The name and address of the attorney. The incorporator is M. Lynn Wagner. Now, first of all, I would like to know out there from you, how many of you know this attorney, Wagner? Do you think Patrick Crane just walked into Attorney Wagner's office and said, I'd like to form a 501c? No. I have this great thought that if I create a group called Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge, I will meet all the criteria to go to the podium and have the mayor removed for not living in the city. No. So who contacted Lynn Wagner? Who did? Who put it all together so that when Patrick Crane showed up, everything was ready for signatures? Who did? The bylaws of the corporation may be altered, amended, and repealed only by the affirmative vote of a 2/3 of the directors. This was done. Lynn Wagner filed this, attorney for incorporation. She filed this on August 20th, 2015. Is when she filed this. Now, folks, when she filed this, okay, when she filed this, August 20th of 2015, then that's when Mr. Crane starts going to the podium and asking his questions. So let me see, I got one more I would like to show, if I can find it here. Pull up Article 4. Now we're going to get to this. Is that Article 4? Okay, thank you. Article 4 of this incorporation, the initial board of directors shall consist of one director. Patrick Crane is on the board of directors. Folks, I'm putting all this out here because I want to tell you that we have, and I'm going to get to the people, okay? Because again, Patrick Crane looked at me and told me the entire story, along with the DA, the mayor, and Rhonda Thomas. Not together. Not together. My interview with Patrick Crane was Patrick and I. Now, the initial officers for the corporation shall be Chief Executive Officer, Patrick Crane. Vice President, Patrick Crane. Secretary, Patrick Crane. Chief Financial Officer, Patrick Crane. All 4 lines of officers, all 4 officers, Patrick Crane. Really, folks? You think Patrick Crane went in there and Lynn Waggoner put all this together so he could approach and convince Councilwoman Angier, give a convincing speech to her that we needed to spend approximately $40,000 to investigate. So you think that happened? Well, let me see what else I have here before I get to another video. I got the articles, I showed you that. This here just shows, let's go to Lynn Waggoner, and this is on the Articles of Incorporation, okay? No, it's 2. There's a 2. Lynn Waggoner 2. There you go. Now, this one here, Lynn Waggoner at yahoo.com, which I sent an email yesterday. I'll tell you what it is. And it is Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. And she's in Blue Ridge, and it has her phone number, and she signed it on 8/20/15, stating that she mailed the following items to the Secretary of State. She mailed the transmittal form, the Articles of Incorporation, the filing fee for $100 payable to the Secretary of State. This is her statement to the Secretary of State saying she filed everything for the Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. Okay, now, we've set up, and I'm not trying to bore you because I'm trying to do this in a manner of looking at this in a timeline. They were not able to disqualify the mayor. Now, I have not been, and I will put that up there. I have not been in Mayor Whitener's home. Never have. Okay, I know the mayor, much like many of you that I know. Never been in her home. But during the last election, when he was defeated, there was a certain group that spent a lot of money trying to discredit her. One being, I'll say it later, okay, trying to get her disqualified for even taking office. They did everything to stop her from taking office. Once she took office, then a concerted effort to stop her, because we heard in October of 2014, Councilwoman Angier says then she will follow the charter, even if that means, violations that would cause her to have to, remove the mayor. We heard this timeline starting. And then from that point on, they had to get together and they had to find one person. They looked for a while, find that one person that they hoped could shield them and create Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge, and then convince Councilwoman Arp that so many citizens, so many of you out there in Blue Ridge were so concerned that an investigation needed done to try to remove the mayor. Maybe there wasn't as many as you think. We're going to play some videos on the other side of this break. We're going to show you Patrick Crane going to the podium. We're going to play what he reads. We're going to play Councilwoman Arp, several more. So let me take a brief break, set up my next part, but this is going to continue on with Blue Ridge. Sam, take us a break.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Days Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, let me ask you a question. If a city council member actually gets involved in an attempt to remove the mayor and uses her position, his or her position, to do that, and also uses the head of a department, if they're in cahoots, my favorite word, right? If they're in cahoots with others, and one being the head of another department, a department in the city. So you have a department head and a council member that behind the scenes lead the way in trying to remove the mayor. I don't know, is that called a coup? I don't know, I'm serious. Is that called a coup? Leading a coup? I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, now this next video, and Sam, I want you to get this ready. It's Blue Ridge City Council, September 8th. I'll tell you when we're going to go. Now remember, the paperwork was sent by the attorney Lynn Wagner on August 20th. August 20th, okay? All right, of 2015. Now September 9th of 2015, right after that, okay? Right after the incorporation is sent to the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge to the Secretary of State, September 8th, Patrick Crane goes to the podium. Now, you can turn this up, so before you listen to this, I don't know exactly the problem with the audio, but I did a transcript, and we haven't lost the audio, but something happened with the audio that the digitized audio in this is real jumpy. So don't really listen to this for trying to hear things, because you could do that at a later date. We'll put this video up and you can amplify it, and actually you can transcribe everything he says here. The point of this video is him going to the podium on September 8th, a couple weeks after the incorporation, and telling the mayor that she doesn't live in Blue Ridge. And he's there as a concerned citizen of Blue Ridge, and she doesn't live in Blue Ridge, and she is violating the charter. Now, they've already spent thousands of dollars on this, all right? So listen to this for a minute, and Sam, bring it back to me. Don't get too concerned with the audio. Just pay attention to the video. That's more important right now. Sam, go to that.
You can table here along with everything else.
We can do that. You want a motion for that in a second? Patrick Crane.
Last time I got up here and spoke about the city chart that you followed. You said you did follow the city chart. The law of Wells, the city, October 16th, 2012. Larry Sand Planning Committee did request review on the 23rd of October. Acting on the Planning Commission's suggestions, it was a 2-2 council vote, with you taking the time to vote when you were elected in office. And on March the 8th, the city listed organized connector as C2. On March the 10th, Clyde Fortner gave you a CO commitment, 387, was for the furniture store. This is on the city charter, Article 2, Section 2. You registered with the elections office your home address as Courtney Lance, but a year prior to running the first time. However, according to the city law, the address is not allowed as a residence. Section 3:14:6 says no city council member or mayor shall cast a vote in an ordinance which they have direct interest in. Spoke with the elections office and turned several times. Council has passed time to hold each other accountable and take investigation in this matter. Asking the vote and place the mayor on the leave until the decision is made for the removal of office. According to the state elections office, 15-point requirements needed to be proven to the Swell residents. More than enough evidence available to show that you do not live in the city of Blue Ridge. And it says that in the city charter, you must live in the city for 6 months and 1 day to stay as elected official. And then failure at any time to possess qualifications of office as provided by the city charter. That's city charter, Section 217. And in Section 322 states, mayor shall see all laws and ordinances of the city are faithfully executed. And Section 312 states, inquiries and investigations. Council may investigate any department, official, or agency. If they don't comply with the law, the council may be punished. So, I think something needs to be done. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, back to me. Okay, now I know that was poor quality audio. I apologize for that. But what I wanted you to see there is, if you notice, Patrick Crane is reading his notes. If you notice, he has a prepared statement. He's reading his notes. He knows where in the charter the violation, where in the charter the need to remove the mayor if found guilty of these violations. He has all this ready here when he goes to the podium. And, you know, we noticed that Councilwoman Angie Arp has, you know, decided to sit there as though she's never, she had no idea that Patrick was going to stand up. She had no idea that Patrick was going to, I'm trying to get all my videos straight here. She has no idea that Patrick is going to say what he says. She's unaware. That's the impression she's given. She's unaware of anything Patrick's going to say. Now, here is the second time, okay, and please excuse, you know, not having a good, the camera and everything. Please excuse this video, this one. I want to get to the one, I think it is Blue Ridge. No, I got it here. It is called October 6th. Now remember, September 9th, August 20th or whatever, they went to the Secretary of State. October 6th, you know, then September, right? We just had October, filed the paperwork, concerned citizens. Then he goes to the podium in September with a written statement, September. Now we go in October, so August, September, October. Now we go to October 6th, okay? And this is when Mr. Crane goes back to the podium. I think I have the time set. October 6th, Blue Ridge City Council meeting. Stay with this one here. Play that one.
Anyone else have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Patrick Crane.
I'd like to thank the council for allowing me to speak. I'm back again to ask that you turn the mayor's resident issue over to the Secretary of State to investigate whether the mayor could be guilty of voter fraud and all. I understand this matter is not the council. It's not a matter that the council can take action on. However, I do think there's enough evidence to warrant the council to send the appropriate entities to investigate. The Secretary of State takes voter validation serious and should be able to put this issue to rest. Because many feel the mayor is being dishonest with voters, taking advantage of the domicile law. This issue, of course, further investigations that the mayor is doing may be legal, but it's setting a precedent that elected officials do not have to be honest about where they actually reside and live on a daily basis. Because there's a charter violation concerning the legitimacy of the residence she's claiming now, I would ask the council to investigate any and all state laws violations or city charter violations concerning the mayor and any other member that has violated any state law or city charter. According to section 217, the city charter mandates that any member, including the mayor or council, must be removed from office for specific causes. Removal of office as a member that violates the charter or city law is not optional. The charter states shall be removed. Georgia State, the Georgia Appellate Court has ruled that shall means mandatory or required. Since the charter expressly states shall be removed for any one or more of the following cases, the council has an obligation ordered by the charter Causes for removal listed as following: incompetence, conviction of a crime, failure at any time to possess qualifications to offices provided by the city charter or law, knowingly violates section 216 or any other express probationary of this charter, abandonment of office or neglect to perform duties thereof, failure for any cause to perform the duties of office as required by this charter by state law. I believe there's been multiple actions that fall within at least 4 of 6 causes, which the charter specifically states that removal shall be for 1 or more. Even if there has only been 1 violation, the charter mandates that the council take action and remove the member from office. I'm asking that the council do this. It's to what you took sworn oath to do, which was to uphold the charter. And in doing so, you have no choice but to investigate and remove any member that is found to have violated any one thing that is not in accordance with the city charter law. And I'd just like to know if there be a time that this can be done. Because I'm not going to go away on this. It just keeps being put on the back burner. And
can I ask you a question? Which one of those things did I violate? 2.16? Which one of them? What is my violation?
You ought to know you're the one who done it.
Apparently I don't. I'm asking you, you're the one complaining. You're the one that's been to numerous council meetings with the same complaints. But can you tell me which one of those that it is?
I will present you a copy of all of them that you have violated. Will that be acceptable?
That'll be acceptable. Okay. Yeah, you can present me a copy.
Okay.
Actually, if you present it to all of us, that would be good.
Yes, that's what I'll do. All right.
But you didn't answer my question. Do you know which one it is?
Yes, there's several. And I will present you with a copy and the council.
You know, Patrick, you've been doing this ever since you got upset that I put sewer in over on Summit Street. So I think if we've been doing this for 2 or 3 years and listening to those same complaints, that it's about time you tell me what I've done that's so illegal. What violation I've done. I'm not real worried about it. But if there's something I've done, I think somebody ought to tell me. You've proven nothing. And Mr. Thomason spent a lot of time trying to disqualify me the last time. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars in our last election, thanks to Mark Thomason. So, and they didn't disqualify me then.
Well, Mark and I have nothing in common on this.
I'm just telling you. I mean, if I was going to be disqualified, would they have not done it at that point?
Well, we just need to make sure that the laws are followed.
And we do. We do make sure the laws are followed, but, so what are you asking us to do? You're going to come every meeting and make some comments?
If you can see yes, I will.
Well, I'll say that if you get us what your information, we can ask our city attorney how we need to handle, how we might need to handle this, since it has been brought to the council's attention. So if there's anything valid, the city attorney should be able to.
Okay, I'll present you a copy, of that copy on it.
When can we expect that? I'm looking forward to this. Because I've listened to it for years.
Maybe by the end of business day.
That'd be great.
If you want to just leave it with Kelsey,
right.
you can.
Okay, now the second thing, what we're doing here, and I hope we're not boring you this morning, I'm just trying to lay all of this out. So in August, Lynn Wagoner, they want you to believe there's a belief. They want you to believe that Lynn Wagoner brought Patrick Crane walked in. They filed at the Secretary of State a nonprofit 501c, and then in September, right after that, he went to the podium. And then in October, Patrick Crane went to the podium. A couple things we want to make sure you're aware of here is you watch Councilwoman Angie Arp sit there as though she's hearing this for the first time. And then when the Mayor Whitener, there's a reason we're playing them in detail, when Mayor Whitener says, when can I get a list, or what are the violations? He said, I'll get a list. Councilwoman Angie Arp says yes, and could you get that for all of the council, the list? As though this is news to her. I mean, she has to pay attention for these concerned citizens that she represents. So I'm going to take a break. We'll take a break. So we've got August, September, October. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to look at when the motion was made, and then we're going to reveal the people that Mr. Crane told me are actually those very concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. And another note, we're going to keep the show going till I'm done. So it won't be long, but hopefully we can get it in the next 30 minutes, or we might run over. But we're going to get everything in this show so it'll be one complete episode. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back right after this messages. It's shocking. Angie Arp's shocked of all this. Take us a break.
This summer, nothing says love like a box of truffles, especially if that box of truffles is in a blizzard.
This is all my favorite truffles. Fudge, caramel, and peanut butter. It's like a surprise in every bite. I bet you're full of surprises.
Actually, I'm full of chicken strips. Just had my break.
You're cute.
Still got it.
The new Triple Truffle Blizzard Treat with fudge, peanut butter, and caramel truffles. Welcome to Dairy Queen. Enjoy a $1 Misty Slush and more.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Okay, so we have the Articles Incorporation by Patrick Crane. He is listed as all the officers, the registered agent, everything. Now, he is doing this all on his own. That's what we're led to believe, because he's concerned about where the mayor lives, and it's so important that he disqualify the mayor. We know that after the election, this attempt was already made by several people. So it's interesting that this subject continues on. We know Councilwoman Angie Arp is sitting there just looking like she has no idea what is going on, and she is just listening attentively at these complaints from citizens, which she was elected to represent. So we have incorporation in August. We have September 9th, or right in September, with Patrick Cranes. We got October 6th. Now, on October 13th, watch this moving along, the progression. October 13th, put up Blue Ridge City Council, October 13th, 15, and I think I have a time there. Listen to this.
Charter violation investigation added to the agenda by Councilmember Angie Arp.
Yes, based on documentation supporting violations of the city charter and state law, the council is obligated by the charter to take action, including but not limited to an investigation. In order to be fair to all parties concerned and to ensure that the charter is upheld, it would be appropriate to hire a third party that specializes in municipal and government law to conduct an official investigation of city charter and state law violations. I'm going to make a motion to we hire Girard and Davis Law Firm to conduct an investigation of any city charter or state law violations that may have been made by the mayor.
How do we know that's a third party, impartial person? How did you get your name?
Actually, David Siphon had recommended him, and I talked to the post commissioners of the county. They used him on some issues that they had.
So what are those violations do you have that you have a reason to actually follow them? And I have the right to ask a question. There's a motion, there can be discussion in between.
I actually not getting to the policy.
I have a right to ask that question.
Okay, well, ask your question.
So which one of those 6 violations can you give me that is a reason?
I've got a folder full, but I don't, this is not what the motion's about. I made a motion, and the council can make the decision.
Okay.
I mean, you shouldn't have a problem. You stated last week that you're in compliance with everything.
Well, and he also asked in his first thing that night was to have all council any violations. We didn't ask for all council to be investigated.
Actually, let's change the motion then. I'll change the motion. I make a motion to hire Girard and Davis Law Firm to conduct an investigation of any city charter or state law violations that may have been made by the mayor or council member.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed? Okay. Second budget hearing for the 2016 budget for the city of...
Okay, now on October 13th, the 20th, August 20th, incorporation. September, Patrick comes. October 6th, Patrick comes. And October 13th, Councilwoman Angie Arp thinks that this is serious enough to hire a law firm. Now, between the October 6th of Patrick Crane coming to the podium and the October 6th meeting where they make a motion to investigate, and Angie Arp, Councilwoman Angie Arp, is making phone calls. She's already inquiring. This is already set up. She's having discussions with Girard and Davis. She's talking to post commissioners that used Girard and Davis in a lawsuit earlier in the year. And so she's already getting references, talking to Girard and Davis. She has this all set up when she makes the motion. So keep in mind, she told you in October of 2014 that she wasn't going to skirt around the law. She wasn't going to skirt around the law, Councilwoman Angie Arp. If that included the charter violations and removing the mayor, we have the video. Now we get up into August, they group, They find Patrick Crane as a pawn August, September, October 13th. So October 13th, there is a motion made to go to Gerard and Davis. So let's keep very important. Councilwoman Arp has already found Gerard and Davis. Already found him. Okay? Councilwoman Arp has already inquired with Gerard and Davis. She has the phone conversations with Gerard and Davis. She made the motion. Remember, she made the motion here. Okay? Not anyone else. And don't forget, Harold voted no. So there's one more video I want to go to, okay, that I want to play. And stay with me on this one, and then we're going to wrap up what I think really is the situation with the situation with concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. So now we have October. Now we have November. So we go from October to November. So watch this move along. August, September, 2 times in October. The 13th they voted, and November is they're going to. This is November 3rd. All right, moving right along. Blue Ridge City Council meeting part 1. Sam, let's play that.
Okay, old business, Gerard and Davis LLP, contract for mayor and council investigation.
The city council approved to hire Gerard and Davis to do an investigation the last meeting, so I'm going to make a motion to approve the contract.
Actually, I have something.
According to the policy, when an item is
Well, I also deserve, we have 5 minutes to discuss it,
After
I need to be able to.
Do you want to follow the policy or not?
You don't want the citizens
Do you want to follow the policy or
You
not?
don't want the citizens to hear.
They can't after we make a motion in a second. That's when the
Go
discussion.
ahead.
I make a motion that we accept the contract provided to us by Gerard and Davis.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Now you have the opportunity.
Discussion.
Thank you, Angie.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So basically, we've had some major concerns with this, obviously. We have a very limited budget. Excuse me, I'm talking.
She gets the chance to speak.
I want to get through this. We can put that video up for you to watch later. But now, okay, in November 3rd, Councilwoman Arp again, makes the motion to enter into a contract with Gerard and Davis. Councilwoman Arp makes the motion. So keep all this in mind, these timelines. The 20th, September, Patrick Crane goes up there and reads a statement, and Councilwoman Arp's looking at it like she's never heard it before. October 6th, Patrick Crane goes back. Councilwoman Arp's looking at it like she's never seen it before. Okay? October 13th, she must do right by these concerned citizens of Blue Ridge, so Councilwoman Arp has spoke to Gerard and Davis. She's already done the investigation, the internal review of Gerard and Davis. She brings Gerard and Davis. Councilwoman Arp brings Gerard and Davis. Okay? Councilwoman Arp makes the motion to enter into the contract with Gerard and Davis. Keep that in mind. Okay? Now, Patrick Crane tells me and others, I'll leave it up to the others to tell you this, and I want to remind you, that the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge are actually made up of, drumroll please, can we see Miss Arp? Can we see Miss Arp? There you go. Patrick Crane surprisingly tells me that Councilwoman Arp is part of the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge that laid this groundwork. Okay? Now, I'm going to wrap up something with Council Member Arp in a minute. Johnny, bring him in. Here's Johnny. Today, there you go. Sam's gonna, I'm going to be in trouble. I know it takes a second, Sam. I'm going to be in trouble on a Monday. Well, who is that? Well, that would be Johnny. Johnny Searcy, Chief of Police of Blue Ridge. Now, Patrick Crane says that Johnny was part of the group. And that comments came from Johnny, we've got to do, this is not a quote because, it's not a quote, but the comments were made, we've got to do something about this mayor because if she gets her chance, she will get rid of me. So we got to do something about this mayor. Now, he is a department head, okay? He works for the city. He works for the council, okay? He is a department head. So you have a department head and a city council member. Johnny just has been a little concerned that we might look in places or bring up things or say things or request things that he's not comfortable with providing to you and I, the citizens, or he does not want us aware of. That's my thought. So Johnny, we hear, okay? Mark, where's Mark? Okay. Now, Mark, that's Mark Tomlinson. And Patrick Crane says Mark was a part of their concerned citizen of Blue Ridge. Let me tell you a little about Mark. Mark's a former publisher of the Fan in Focus. Created a newspaper that, to me and many, had an agenda. And see, Mark was involved, okay? Mark was involved, and they spent thousands of dollars in trying to discredit the mayor before they opened the Fan in Focus. So before he ever opened his newspaper, he was involved in the election trying to disqualify the mayor. He went to the state on so many things on the mayor, and it didn't come through. And you can hear the mayor say, Mark Tomlinson spent thousands. So when the mayor says Mark spent thousands trying to disqualify her, what you don't know in that video is Mark sitting in the back. What you don't know in that video is Mark is talking to Patrick every single time. He's talking to Patrick. Patrick comes straight in and talks to Mark. Let me put this in there again. Patrick's a good guy, folks. Patrick is a good guy. He has been used by, my words, bad people. All right? Damn it, it upsets me. It upsets me. Sorry. So, Mark, they need the publisher. Okay, so they got Mark. Mark's going to help propaganda, put the news out about all of these concerned citizens. Okay, so if you were to pick up Mark's paper during this time, there was a lot of articles in there from the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. Concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. All right, you're going to want to stick with me to the end on this. All right, a lot of articles, and they were signed by Patrick Crane. Interesting. Now the last one I don't have a picture for, so let's just go blank screen. Or we'll call it the big screen, the Swan Drive-In. Okay, Steve Setzer. Okay, Steve Setzer, the owner of the Swan Drive-In, has a lease with the city. See, 3 out of 4 of these are using the propaganda machine of the Fan in Focus and Mark. They're using them to try to put their word out to concerned citizens and trying to build up, give you the impression out there that there's this big group that's so concerned. But you have one guy that is a department head in the city, Johnny Searcy, Chief of Police, as a member. You have a councilwoman that leads the way with all of the stuff here. We'll get into it in a minute on the council. So you have a council member that can make this happen. Now you have Steve Setzer. Now this is a personal note from me. I'm a little bit interested. I have been told that Mr. Setzer no longer has a home in Blue Ridge. I have been told that Mr. Setzer lives in Tennessee. Yeah, I find it interesting. The city of Blue Ridge, my opinion, damn it, is subsidizing a drive-in for what, $500 a month? All right, every time you bring the drive-in up and bring the lease up, everybody goes berserk and swears the mayor's trying to close the drive-in. But many of us out here would love to have a nice lease, okay, and a brand new screen and anything else that went with it, okay? We'd love to have that, wouldn't we? For $500, an all-cash business. Interesting, there's a cash business surrounding a couple. Wow, interesting. We'll get into that later. Maybe somebody can look down that road. But a cash business that has $500 a month for somebody who doesn't even live here. I mean, they don't have a home here. They don't live in Blue Ridge, but the city, the citizens of Blue Ridge are affording this people this big deal. So the mayor wanted to renegotiate. I'm going to use the mayor. The mayor and the council wanted to renegotiate the lease and actually get a better, maybe a better deal for the citizens, get a little more money than $500. That upset them. So you have Steve Setzer at the Swan Drive-In, you know, very vocal that the mayor's trying to take the drive-in away from him, which, you know, I don't know true or not, but I don't think it's true. I think she's just trying. I've been to all the Swan Drive-In meetings. All right, I have all those on video also. So you have that. You have, and his wife, Kathleen, lost in the election. So they also participated in trying to disqualify the mayor right from the beginning, Steve Setzer. You have Mark Thomason, a fan of Focus, that is publishing everything and is making sure that he tried to promote that there's actually a concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. You have the chief of police, Johnny Searcy, and you have Councilwoman Angie Art. Now, a couple things here we want to wrap up with today. Patrick Crane says he never paid for the corporation. He was just sent there. We don't know who wrote that check to incorporate. That's number one. He was just sent to Lynn Waggoner's office. So I have sent Attorney Waggoner an email and have asked for the documents. I want the documents. I want the tax return on this so I can see the money that was put in, who paid for what. All right? I want to know who paid for her services. Who did that? Really? I'd like to see all of the dollars that were spent by the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge. If he was putting, Patrick Crane was putting all these ads in a newspaper, I for sure the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge had to have some kind of funds to pay for this, right? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see all those documents. To see, Patrick Crane says the meetings consisted. Let me look at you in the camera and tell you. Patrick Crane said the meetings consisted of Johnny Searcy, Councilwoman Angie Arp, Steve Setzer, and Mark Thomason. And they had several meetings, he said. They're the ones that pushed this. And he said everything was put together for him when he got to the attorney's office. Everything, that's what he says, okay? Everything was put together. Now he says there was 2 other people that attended the meetings and were involved, but I'm not going to bring them into it at this time. And then he said they were a group of cheerleaders, and I think we know who the cheerleaders are, that did not want anybody, make sure nobody ever found out that they were in the cheering section. So I have a couple questions. Why did Angie Arp, how did Patrick Crane orchestrate all this? Every time Patrick Crane went to the podium, are you aware of the fact that everything he was reading, Councilwoman Angie Arp wrote for him? Everything he read in those videos you watched today, he claims Councilwoman Angie Arp wrote for them. There's got to be laws. There's got to be something corrupt. There's got to be something wrong with a councilwoman sitting on one side, listening to a supposedly concerned citizen, knowing she wrote. There's something wrong with you, period. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really apologize because I don't want to be mean to anybody. I'm serious. There's something wrong with you, period. If you sit over here and you have somebody reading something you wrote and you give the impression and play a part like you are so concerned as you're hearing it for the first time. There's something wrong, period. I'm serious. So this person's going to the podium. This person's making all these accusations. Patrick Crane says Councilwoman Angie Arp wrote all of that. Councilwoman Angie Arp wrote everything that he said at the podium. She wrote it. Councilwoman Arp was at the meetings. Councilwoman Arp was well aware what they were about to do or trying to do. Councilwoman Arp intended from day one to get it to involve. This is what Patrick Crane. From day one, the intention was to set all this up to evolve into an investigation. Okay? The newspaper, Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. Councilwoman Angie Arp wrote those, according to Patrick Crane. And his name was on them. He never wrote anything in the paper. She wrote all of the columns that said Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. That's what Patrick Crane says. Did you find that interesting? Everything was set up all the way down. So you have a person that has a lease with the city. Okay, there's something wrong that they get involved with trying to remove the mayor when they have a lease with the city. You've got a publisher, and we don't need to go into more detail about the publisher and what his part or his role was in this. You have a chief of police, a department head that participated in what I call a coup, an orchestrated coup to remove the mayor. And you have a councilwoman that actually sat there in legal meetings. I try to tell people from the time you gavel the meeting in to the time you close the meeting, they're legal meetings. So you have a councilwoman that worked all of this up, every bit of it. Are you not shocked? I mean, it's just, are you going to allow that? Because let me tell you something. Here's the Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge, and this is what I want to put in your mind. And the reason I'm going after this so hard is $40,000. $40,000, all orchestrated. And if the end result would have been the mayor being removed, then okay, because that was supposed to be the end result. But they don't seem to know Patrick anymore, my thought. What I understand, Patrick didn't get the job done. It didn't work out. So they've turned on Patrick, is my understanding. Good guy. Let's wrap up the show with this. Concerned Citizens of Blue Ridge. The other night, I want you to pay attention, close attention, because I have something to close with. The other night, you're concerned about 3-hour parking. Okay? You're concerned about 3-hour parking. And so a group gathers. Pay attention. A group gathers, 150 strong, as many as you can get in the city council, the city hall, to confront your elected officials about 3-hour parking. You make signs. Everything. You're ready. But Angie Arp doesn't show up to hear your concerns. She doesn't show up to hear your concerns. She didn't come to listen to your concerns. She did not attend the meeting. Or did her other votes. Bruce Pack or Rodney Kendall. See, these are the 3 votes that voted to move forward with an investigation because citizens were so concerned in Blue Ridge that they felt that they had no other choice but to look into the charter violations. You see, that night, pay attention, that night, when she made the motion, okay, made the motion, who raised their hands? Angie Arp, Bruce Pack, and Rodney Kendall. 3 votes. What I keep telling you, what I start with today, keep in mind 3 votes. 3 votes have done this. 3 votes. Who did not raise their hand? Harold Herndon, and Rhonda Thomas. You see, those three votes, Kendall, Pack, and ARP, were so concerned for the concerned citizens of Blue Ridge to spend $40,000 of taxpayer money in what I call an orchestrated coup attempt on the mayor. But those three votes did not have enough concern for you the other night to show up for a packed room. Interesting. So if there was an investigation and there was so much concern, where was the 150 citizens concerned that night that Angie Arp said, hey, I'm overwhelmed by the outpouring of concern of these citizens, we must investigate? No. Concerned citizens of Blue Ridge, according to Patrick Crane, which he has told this story to several, concerned citizens of Blue Ridge are made up of Angie Arp, Councilwoman Angie Arp, Council Chief of Police Johnny Searcy, Mark Thomason, former publisher of the Fan and Focus, and Steve Setzer, the owner of the Drive-In. My close this morning, Angie Arp, let me close with this. Angie Arp, according to Patrick Crane, Angie Arp wrote everything for him. According to Patrick Crane, he has all the original documents written for him in her handwriting. According to Patrick Crane, he has 20 or 30 pages of text messages from Councilwoman Arp, which I want, is now an open records request. He has 20 to 30 pages of text messages from Councilwoman Arp concerning this whole thing that took place, according to Patrick Crane. According to Patrick Crane, Arp led the way on all of it. And he has all the documents. Now, what I find interesting is Angie Arp made the motion. Don't forget, she made the motion for the investigation. She initiated the phone calls. Nobody else had conversations with Gerard and Davis. Nobody else. She initiated the phone calls with Gerard and Davis. Keep this in mind. She had the discussions and set the groundwork, okay, with Gerard and Davis. Nobody else. Angie Arp. She asked to enter the contract. She made the motion to enter a contract with Gerard and Davis to do the investigation. Nobody else. She did all of this because Patrick Crane, concerned citizens of Blue Ridge, 501c, went to the podium. But don't you find it interesting? Don't you find it interesting? The one person not interviewed. Let me ask you a question. Damn it, this makes me angry. Do you realize they went through the police department and did an investigation and they interviewed. I'd like to see the interview list. They interviewed Johnny Searcy, Chief of Police, Gerard Davis did. What was that interview like? Right? I think they did. They interviewed so many other people. What was that like? But who did they not interview? Patrick Crane. Would you not have thought Gerard and Davis would have started there and said, Mr. Crane, give us first and foremost your reasoning that brought this all to light, and let's talk about you for a minute and what you may know in this investigation. See, Patrick Crane brought it to light. Patrick Crane brought it to the podium. Patrick Crane was never interviewed, in his words to me, by Gerard and Davis. Isn't that interesting? Never interviewed. I tell you what, something's not right. Did somebody take Patrick Crane's name off the interview list? Was somebody communicating with Gerard and Davis? I don't know. I think it's collusion. I think it's collusion, corruption, malfeasance, okay? A coup orchestrated, and I think a thorough investigation by authorities is warranted here because something's bad wrong. I'm your host, BKP. I've gone to 10:04. I hope We highlighted some things, I hope. And we'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m., and talk some national stuff. I'm your host, BKP. Take us out of here, Sam. We'll see you tomorrow.